Paper was like gold in medieval times.
Oh, not tobacco, sugar.
That everything we thought we knew about the world might turn out to be completely wrong.
I'm Sarah Richardson. This is Mark and Jeff. These are the Clipper rooms at an event venue called Carlu. And this is what the Clipper rooms look like now, thanks to some help from Design Inc. I'm on my way to meet Mark and Jeff, managing partners of the Carlu. Here's an interesting challenge. Hey guys. Bring Art Deco back into a classic Art Deco building. The Carlu is an events venue known for its historical and architectural significance.
The floor is unique primarily because we've been told it is the best surviving example of Art Moderne left in the world.
You heard it here first. Design Inc. is redesigning part of a national landmark. What are we tackling?
The Clipper rooms.
So historically, other rooms were sort of the big rooms, the important rooms. They have all the detail, all the kind of wow and the pizzazz, and this is just sort of...
These rooms they weren't necessarily an afterthought, but they weren't what this floor was famous for.
Is this a daytime space and a nighttime space?
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, we want to use it for everything.
And the general design vision?
Maybe like a small boutique hotel lobby.
Yeah.
Got it. Now, here's the catch.
We have to make sure that everything that we do is in accordance with what Carlu might have done initially.
Mark and Jeff are clearly a couple of very fashion-forward guys, and the challenge we may have is that my vision will definitely be informed by my personal style, and I'm not sure whether they've engaged me for this project because they want my personal style or whether they want me to basically execute a historic reinterpretation of what the room should be. So let's hope they actually want my take on it, because then they say yes to absolutely everything. You say that it has to be sort of in keeping with the rest of the space.
Well, just the Art Moderne style, but I think Mark and I both, we have some liberty there. I think you do, to come back to
Do I have
us.
liberty on the paint color?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
How about the drapes?
Paint, the drapes, we're hoping you're going to come back with something that's a little bit sexier than what it is right now.
Okay, sexy. This sounds like a job for Tommy.
For people who are design and architecture nerds like me, this is an amazing experience to be able to be involved in this kind of a space. So I'm kind of excited about doing a little bit of research and learning a little bit more about Art Moderne and becoming a total know-it-all with regards to that. The demise of the style that we call Art Deco today, but which was then known as Art Moderne or modernistic. So Art Moderne is really Art Deco, which kind of opens up our options in terms of what we can do.
I don't know why, but I have this overwhelming sense that the room needs to be gray.
Yes, but I would take it one step further and make it more silvery gray. Like
Well, I was thinking
plasticky.
silver and gray.
Yes, shimmery and glimmery.
I wasn't thinking prison.
Yeah, keeping with your battleship.
Yeah. The drapes illustrate a common problem that you have with a two-story space. Everybody wants big, high ceilings.
Yes.
You put in dark drapes, and it immediately takes your eye up.
Straight up.
To what?
To nothing.
To nothing.
Yes.
So I think we've got to kind of trick the eye, keeping it in the sort of mid-range, and right now, there's nothing exciting. What if we installed almost like a chair rail strip? Because when I look at it, this is where all the wear and tear happens, right?
That's right,
This is where
chair
things
backs.
get bumped into.
Sure.
What if you did something in metal or something quite sleek?
Okay.
Just as a break. Paint that so it's really durable. And then up above, you could install a wallpaper, like a really wide stripe. Or something that has some texture. It's not so much about the accessories as it is getting the space itself right. The textures, the colors, the overall palette.
When tackling a project that has some sort of original architectural reference, I always try and see what's there. What can I work with? How can I kind of integrate an element or a motif into the new space I'm tackling? So there's a little piece of stainless steel trim that runs around the round room, and I would love to see if I can replicate that detail in some way. I want to make sure that these rooms tie together.
And where better to find glam than amongst grit?
We're looking for trim detail in metal that's like 1.5 inches thick, if that.
Okay.
And it's fluted metal, basically.
And this is something that exists?
I don't know.
Oh, look at it here.
Sarah suggested coming here to see if they've got anything like that.
That looks more like...
Those are like car treads. You see anything that resembles what we're looking for? If they don't have it here...
Can they make it?
Maybe they can make it.
We are looking for a specific piece of metal. We don't know if it exists.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what we're looking for.
Like that, there's not anything that I would have that's here that would fit your needs there.
Sarah found this fluted metal trim in the round room, which is adjacent to the clipper rooms, and she wanted to repeat that detail. I'm finding that the metal detail doesn't exist, which means we're getting involved in creating it, finding someone who's willing to do that, finding someone who's willing to do it fast and cheap, and trying to get the room finished. So this is me having to now search down the holy grail of metal trim.
Uh-oh.
I knew that this was not gonna happen.
Looks like my shopping list may have to get trimmed.
Good morning.
Hi.
We have to have a chat.
Okay. And then came the good news.
I need to know how badly you really want that metal trim detail.
So you found it, but it's hideously expensive, or you just haven't found it, or we have to get it
Combination of the two.
Okay.
I've found a place that will do it, but it will be hideously expensive, and it is not available or anything similar to it available in the marketplace.
Sounds like we've got to get working on a plan B. Maybe it's a few well-chosen pieces of Art Deco.
Hey,
I know, and neither...
Decomania.
It is.
Gorgeous.
I've never seen hardware as beautiful as that. I mean, if you look at it, this is an incredible antique.
Do you think I could just hide
Why don't we just sit here and have a chat?
Why don't we be alive? We could be like the Christmas windows.
Do your model face.
Okay, back to the furniture.
What about that table?
That table is fabulous. Did you just get goosed?
No.
You don't feel that? There's like this full thing right in your bum crack.
Oh yeah, now I feel it. Depends how far back in the...
You sit all the way back, it's not...
It's like sitting on a whoopee cushion.
A little bit.
Pardon me. And it sounds like one too.
Regardless, we're seeing the silver lining on this cloud. The weather is giving us the inspiration we need.
I would call it overcast gray.
This is a very nice color as well.
And today's forecast calls for gray,
Let's try that.
gray, and more gray. We need to cover up the gymnasium sheen that the floors have now. So I'm looking for something soft and sophisticated underfoot.
Do you like this kind of heathered two-tone?
I find it a bit busy here, but I'm thinking of it in the context of these vast spaces that we're laying it in. And maybe once you have quite a bit of it, it would sort of reduce in its busyness.
In a pattern, you can do them in a grouping of 4 squares and 4 squares, and you do a quarter turn. So we could create a really large pattern.
The only fabric that I'm not liking with all of these is the one in the book.
Right.
Everything else works well with the carpet samples.
All right, well, I say we stay with grays.
Maybe it's time to let Mark and Jeff weigh in.
It's really nice.
We also wanted to do something in terms of either an outer band with a different color on the inside, or possibly a checkerboard.
It's a nice idea because the concert hall, the original design from Carlu, had the breakup of the pattern and the banding, so it'll tie in.
What if we could create 2 tables that went together and they could be moved
Oh, that makes
end
sense.
to end, side by side?
Very versatile. In the center of this room, Sarah had designed a pair of tables that could either be pushed together or separated or moved against walls.
What if we go with Macassar ebony?
Love it.
And then do a band around the outside in solid walnut.
And we plan to jazz up the space with a little bit of wood.
You're on the right page so far.
Okay, good. Good, glad to hear that. Is this wood as well?
No, actually, I was thinking that this would be stainless steel because you've got the stainless steel light fixtures and the wall sconces. And right now, for me, it feels like there's this sheen on the ceiling and none of it comes down and there's no reference to it anywhere else in the room. You're smiling, you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
I think I'm smiling because in the research that I did on the period, this was all about the use of innovative and newish industrial materials, and steel was kind of a building and decorative material that they used a lot of.
Of course, with the clipper rooms, we want to make sure that any work that's done is in accordance with Carlu's original design.
We're going to put the tables in the middle of the room and create full-time lounge space around the perimeter.
All of this furniture would be upholstered furniture with one pair of chairs. Actually, these chairs here would be a wood frame with a closed arm and an upholstered seat in back. A very sort of Art Moderne style of chair.
What if we did a combination of 5 fabrics?
How do you feel about the scheme in general?
I think it's great.
So I was thinking we go velvet for the drapes. Silk doesn't make any sense. It gets way too much light.
Okay. Paint colors.
Pink deck.
What are you thinking?
Gray tones. Or if you want to use it as a space for weddings, what could be better than tulle white? Won't that appeal to the brides in the crowd? How about tulle white and veil?
Okay, perfect.
You've really brought it together nicely. You know, the fabric, the paints, the furniture, it's all really
You
great.
met our objective and you've come back with a great presentation, something we're really looking forward to seeing.
Great.
Well, we've got the go-ahead, but there's just one hitch.
We will not be closing during renovation. We'll be fully operational.
They're booking the rooms on a constant basis, so their schedule changes literally daily.
I don't know when we can go ahead.
Ooh, do I really want to show that to her?
We have most Sundays free.
Design Inc. is redoing a historic event space.
We want to make sure that any work that's done is in accordance with Carlu's original design.
Matching the period architecture is painstaking.
What are you thinking?
Gray tones. It's like sitting on a whoopee cushion.
A little bit.
While we're getting a lot of encouragement,
It's really nice.
getting our hands on it is a bit of a puzzle.
The Carlu project is proving to be a scheduling nightmare. But the problem is, it's an event space, so their schedule changes literally daily. And that means my schedule in terms of getting tradespeople, painters, carpet layers, drywallers into that space, I really don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Huh?
It's
We'll have
actually
sort of a 4-day window there, and then we have one Sunday that's booked, and then we can get through most of the following week. Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, that was our original end date, but that have sort of thrown a bit of a wrench into it.
Well, we can't start painting, but we can double-check the colors.
Tulle. This is tulle. Here's veil.
I actually like veil.
I know.
I like the grays that have a little bit of a green hint to them.
Yes.
Because they're not so cold and icy blue. For the stripe treatment, are we going to do different colors, or are we just going to do one has sheen and one has no sheen?
I think we should do different colors.
Okay. So a color that looks very close when we just hold these two boards up.
Yeah.
When we do it on a large scale on the walls, you will see a difference.
Yes, most definitely.
Quite a bit.
It'll be more dramatic looking.
In keeping with the venue's style, our new furnishings must nod to the past and work for the present.
Can you tell me what the width of our seat will be?
25.
Yeah. So we still have a 25 seat. If you're gonna be watching the Super Bowl, you might need a 25-inch seat, but I was sort of thinking that for a space where you're kind of sitting down having a cocktail, I don't know that, do you think it needs to be that wide?
No, I think you'd be okay with 23 if
I
you
thought
wanted
a
to go with
23-inch seat, it'll just tighten it up
Yeah,
a little bit more in keeping.
Yeah, this looks very oversized right now,
Okay.
the way it is.
So let's reduce the width by 2 inches.
We're going to create table bases in metal, and then the tops are going to be macassar, ebony, and walnut.
Beautiful.
So we'll have that great combination and juxtaposition of, you know, steel and wood.
Without a doubt, I'd use the cold rolled steel.
And then you can just sort of polish the joints.
Yeah.
So here's the big question. How fast can I have them?
You know, a couple of weeks is the standard answer. I think a couple of weeks is reasonable.
Okay. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Perfect.
Today, and for the next 2 days, painting will happen. But the following day, after that 3-day period, there's a wedding. in this room.
If they need a little extra powder, they can just borrow some of the drywall dust?
That is right, yeah. Sanding, dust, paint fumes, everything that you can't control about a renovation has to be totally controlled. On the upside, considering the fact that these rooms are booked as solidly as they are, as ugly as they are, when we're finished and everything's pretty, I think we're going to have a huge audience to look at what we've done here.
Done.
Our table bases are coming together.
There you go.
But seating is the staple of any lounge space. And we still need something fabulous on the walls.
What you got?
Okay, here are the archival photographs of past performers in the Carlu.
Oh, they're great. Glamour, elegance, look at her shoes.
I know.
The good old days, diamonds, fur, and headdresses?
Yes, she looks confused, but I would be too if I was wearing that hat. You want them all?
I want them all.
Great.
Meanwhile, back at the project, our performance has started.
Looks great. We're happy with the gray. It's a big transformation. We never liked that mustard color. You know, I think that when it all comes together, it should look really great and be exactly what we're looking for.
Look at it.
I know.
Oh my gosh, this looks beautiful.
One of the really important things about this carpet and this whole paint design is that these rooms now look like something when they're empty.
Don't you just want to play tic-tac-toe?
Absolutely. Oh, the kids will love it.
When's our furniture coming?
Our furniture, nothing can come until Monday.
Aw, man. I've got to wait the weekend before I can see this place all dressed up. Design Inc. is giving Art Deco the modern touch.
The good old days, diamonds, fur.
Sanding, dust, paint fumes, everything that you can't control about a renovation has to be totally controlled.
The stripes are perfect.
You know, the detail work was a challenge, but definitely worth it. Now, let's finish these clipper rooms.
Beautiful. The space we started with had a really defined color scheme, and there was no way to reinterpret the space for your own event. So you want to be able to bring in accents, accessories, flowers, and you want the space to come alive and really feel like it's designed for you. I really noticed all the metal details, and I felt that we needed to go with sort of gunmetal, silver smoke. Fortunately, everybody was, on the program to make that happen. I felt that overall, these rooms really needed a lot of softening. So proper drapes, installing the carpeting. We tried to achieve this balance of combining upholstered pieces with a vintage Art Moderne piece, which everybody is crazy about.
My favorite piece of furniture in here is probably the hutch. Just love the Art Moderne design. It sort of goes with the design of the fountain in the round room.
Our biggest challenge was, could we take two smaller spaces and actually create something that is marketable, that is appealing, and that is also representative of the overall vision of this venue.
The great mirror doors, the light fixtures above, tie in beautifully with what Sarah and Tommy have done.
I think that the Louis Ghost chair, the clear chair, it's a perfect sort of touch of right now. It's something that immediately says, we're not trying to make this historically accurate. We want this to be fun, we want this to be a little bit contemporary, but we also want it to be sophisticated enough that you can use this for everything from watching a movie to having a black tie event.
And that's what we were looking for. We wanted this to have that 1930s femme fatale type of look.
The rooms have gone from empty and echoey to full and friendly.
I like that.
And now I feel like the rooms are like you're entering into the apartment of some fabulous Hollywood director.
Do you want them centered and centered?
I think so.
15 3/4 plus 4 3/4 is 16 1/2, 20 1/2. And if you're following at home with a calculator, just let me know if I've made a mistake. I mean, the great thing about working in a historic space is you have access to some original stuff. So there's all of the features, the built-in features of the room. But then Mark and Jeff were able to go to the archives and access all of these black and white photographs from some of the original performers who performed in the theater in this space. What do you think?
I think they look lovely.
I think it's a real infusion of glamour. I mean, I think it's so great to be able to look and see what's happened here in the past, who's come before. Why not share it with everybody?
On this project, I feel that Sarah and I have really outdone ourselves. It's beautiful here. And it was not when we got here.
I see the fun in the evening events. Definitely for daytime, I think it would be great for corporate meetings, but that's not nearly as sexy as, something where you get to put on a pretty dress and come to a great space.